Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. This is a beautiful morning. I've been out here watching the sunrise. I can't see it yet, but watching it get daylight. And I should be driving to work right now, but I'm not. I wanted to make a video this morning because I have not done an update on the pond. They're done with the pond almost. I want to show you the levee and all these things, but what I really want to show you is what we're doing to get prepared for what's coming. And I know you guys know, and I am going to talk a little bit more about what I'm doing as we get into it. I think I'm going to make some cooking videos on how easy it is to cook for yourself and not go to make me sick. All McDonald's is going to do is make you fat and sick. Sorry. You need to learn how to cook, and it's easy. I'm going to go through that. I'm going to do my best to try to help, because I can feel, see, and notice our environment changing. And I think you can too. Hit the like and subscribe button if you like this kind of content. I'm going to try to really step it up on what we're doing to try to get other people prepared. And if you cannot, I understand, build relationships with everybody you can for food. Food's going to be hard to come by. I refer to what's coming as the Thunderdome a lot because it's going to be completely different than what we've experienced ever. Anybody on the face of the earth, including the Great Depression people. We can learn a lot from them. I talk to my grandfather all the time about it because I think it's going to resemble that. It's just going to be, times 3 or 4 or 10. We don't know. We've never been here. It's going to be worse, mainly due to the population so much bigger and society has fallen so much. I mean, I do a lot of driving. I see a lot of different kind of people at work, you could say that, in the construction industry, and there's nobody preparing. I say nobody. If you're watching this channel, then you probably are. But just start to notice the sheer amount of people that are driving around in new vehicles they cannot afford. They're living in a house they cannot afford. They have all these things that they learned from their baby boomers that have set this thing up to fail. Now's the time to get ready. Right now, there's a glut of food right now. Everybody says, well, there's shortages here, there's shortages there. I know. But for the most part, the stores are full. There's not people panicking in the streets and hoarding, and they're going to call it hamstring, and they're going to start rationing. All this stuff's coming. Now, my timing is awful. I'm always early. And I want to get into gold and silver in a minute because I don't want anybody. I'm going to get into it right now because it's important. Yes, we sell silver and gold for people to hedge their wealth. That's not what this video is about. It's about not buying gold and silver if you can't. If you don't have enough food. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't want you to buy gold and silver if you don't have enough food. If you've got credit card debt. If you can't, because it could go down more. Look, everything goes down in a collapse. Everything. When the tide goes out, all the ships come down. Some sink. But just think about that. If you owe a bunch of money and you don't pay that debt off and you buy gold and silver and it goes down and your debt's still up here, you're going to have to trade your gold and silver at a cheap price to pay this. I don't want to see anybody selling gold and silver for a cheap price to pay their house note. I don't want to see anybody selling it for a cheap price at all. It's a store of wealth that you put a small, say 10 to 50% in. But if you don't have food, what are you doing? Think about it. Really think about that. Now, I'm going to start talking about gold miner stocks and silver mining stocks. I have been allocated to that for 4 years. Like I said, I'm early. And it's probably going to go down. They're getting hammered now, just like all the other stocks. They're stocks, You're playing the game when you get in the stock market. You're pulling the leverage handle. You're pulling the slot machine handle on gold and silver miners. And there's a ton of crap out there. And I'm sure some of the ones I'm going to talk about are not going to be any good. I know that. I own over 50 of them. I'm positive all of them aren't going to the moon, okay? So I'm going to start getting some heat in the comments. Well, you're talking about gold and silver stocks and everything's falling apart. That's when you start to invest. I'm going to try to put it in your head. That's not, when everything looks so bad, it looks like humanity's going to die. that's when you need to be investing. It's so hard to do. It's so hard for me to do. I'm somewhat of a perma bear, but we have to try to get a grip on it, because I'm telling you now, when things are somewhat good, you know, the smoke and mirrors are still working, but when they don't work and it looks really bad and there's this gloomy, awful looking depression on us and things are super cheap, that's when I hope we have enough sense to just take little bitty bites, little tiny bites. When I want you to experience that when you buy something for 10 cents and it goes to $1. And if we do happen to get one of these stocks that run, that double on gold miner stocks, I would say double or triple and get half out or a third out. You see what I'm saying? How you can play it safely, that's what I plan on doing. On crypto stuff, I would do a third. I'd let it triple and pull a third out. Just cover your initial investment, and then you don't have to worry about it. A lot of people don't do that. I'm notorious for being greedy as it's going to the moon and just holding on to it and just thinking it'll always go up. It's crazy. Most of us are the same, but if I start talking about it now, maybe it'll help, because it's fixing to look nasty. There's no way to not see it. Food prices are going to keep going up. Food is going to get harder and harder to find. Supply and demand. That works with everything. Nobody knows for sure when, but just know there is a glut of food right now, and there's never been a better time to buy some. The stuff you're going to eat anyway. Yeah, a year's worth. I usually say, 3-6 months to a year. I'm saying a year now. If you've got 6 months, get a year, if you can. Stuff you're going to eat anyway, okay? And if you have that already, maybe think about gold and silver. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying that's what we use it for. People say, you can't eat gold and you can't eat silver. You got to get outside that, man. What if you're worth $2 million? You going to buy $2 million worth of food? No. You're going to buy enough food to grow food, buy land, whatever you're going to do, and then you're going to have money left over. What are you going to do? Watch them inflate it into the atmosphere and do nothing? Oh, wait, I got some holy rollers in here that are holier than everybody and say, you're putting your faith in gold and silver and not God. All you're doing is for nothing. Well, I'm not going to sit around and do nothing. I'm not somebody that would rely on the kindness of others as everything falls apart, because that's exactly what you're doing. If you're doing nothing, you're just hoping somebody else will come save you, and there is nobody coming. Nobody. Just like me, I have people I'm going to help. They already know about it. That's all I can do. And I don't have people, and I can't take care of everybody. Neither can you. That's why we got to get this message out, and more people will start to get prepared. I hope people are, because if it ain't obvious right now what's going on, I just can't imagine people not seeing it, and nobody is. I don't know why. I can't understand it. I don't mention it to people around here anymore. I just stop. I talk to you guys because you're a like-minded community, and that's what we're building here. And guys, the financial fitness, I'm still saying it. The financial prepper community on Telegram. Go to Telegram and just search financial prepper. It should pop up. You need to be a part of the community and the chat. Just if you can get over there, there'll be somebody to help you get to the chat. There's a lot of helpful people in there, and they are posting some awesome stuff. I saw something this morning about if you don't have a pond or where to get water, get a dehumidifier. It will suck the water out of the air. I mean, you can see this air right here. You can almost drink it. It'll suck it out of the air, and it'll create water for you every day. I thought that was a great idea, and they're cheap. And that's probably one of the things people aren't going to think about. So you might get one of those, Just try to think outside of the box, because that's what it's going to take to get through what's coming. Now, let's do a little walk around, because I have not really seen the pond. I looked at it yesterday evening just for a second, but I'm really pumped. I wish I would have done it sooner. But this is, I could have bought gold and silver instead of this pond. You know, it's expensive to have equipment out here for 2 weeks, 2 dump trucks, track hoe, and a bulldozer to do this. But we did it right. And I think that's the kind of investment you don't ever really regret, you know? To have food and water in your front yard, I can't imagine any amount of gold and silver or taking the place of that. When things get really bad, that's going to be, in my opinion, that's going to be very, very helpful. So let's walk around. I hope you enjoy. I'll try to play a little harmonica music too. Let me know what you think. Let's go. Okay. If I had to do this over again, I would do 2 rows of potatoes. I would do another row of peas. Tomatoes, I love them, but they're not a super good source of energy. Potatoes are a wonderful source of energy, and you can grow a ton. The purple hulls are coming in nicely. I gotta mow the garden. Cucumber squash, zucchini, vegetable squash. My wife's flowers are coming in. That's a prep you could think about. Propane tank in the ground last year. Obama had the same thought. The chickens are happy, they're ready to be let out. And the pond is looking like it's done. All that's left is a siphon pipe. I'm going to take some of those trees out on the point. That's going to be the beach for swimming, and there will be a zip line from one end of the pond to the other. The pond's about 12 foot deep in the middle right here. Over there, it's about 19 foot deep, and I want you to see the levee Tim built me. If y'all want a pond and you live in Bossier, North Louisiana, South Arkansas, he did an amazing job. I mean, this thing is ready for cross ties and railroad tracks. It will, I mean, that's, if you can see that white flag over there, that's going to be the water line. And the pond wraps around. And I put an island right there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little island right here. I'm going to plant some trees on it. Those big stumps will go in the middle, and it goes way up into the grass up there. So it should be very, it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. We got a little more to do. The siphon pipe will go in the middle. And the back of the levee is dressed up with topsoil. So I can mow it, not have a problem. We pulled all the trees out so I don't have any trouble mowing. But look at that levee. I mean, that is, I'm really impressed. So let me know if you're interested and you're looking into a pond or think it's a good idea. I can hook you up. I got a guy. So that's it, guys. I got to go before I'm any later to work. But as always, have an awesome, awesome day. I will see you in the next one later.